Hello there. Welcome to Scientific Serenity. That question is, where is everybody? It was asked in 1950 by the physicist Enrico Fermi during a casual lunch conversation about flying saucers and the possibility of interstellar travel. The context was light, but the question was devastating in its logic. It has come to be known as the Fermi Paradox. The paradox is this: the universe is unimaginably old, vast, and fertile. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains hundreds of billions of stars. Many of these stars are older than our Sun. Many of them have planets. A significant percentage of those planets are likely to be in the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, just right for liquid water, and thus, for life as we know it. Life on Earth arose relatively quickly once conditions were right. And intelligence, technology, and the ambition to explore seem to be natural outcomes of evolution, given enough time. So, statistically, the galaxy should be teeming with life. It should be a noisy, vibrant metropolis of civilizations. Their ships should be in our skies. Their signals should fill our radios. Their ancient ruins might even litter our solar system. And yet, silence. A profound, unbroken, cosmic silence. We point our most powerful telescopes into the void and see only natural phenomena. We listen with enormous radio dishes and hear only the hiss of stellar static. We have found no artifacts, no signals, no visitors. The universe appears to be empty, beautiful, majestic, but empty. This is the paradox. The crushing weight of probability says, they must be there. The crushing weight of evidence says, we see no one. As you sit beneath this imagined starscape, let the immensity of that silence settle upon you. It is not a passive silence. It is an active presence. It is a thing that speaks, not with words, but with absence. It asks us to question our most fundamental assumptions about life, intelligence, and our place in the cosmos. Perhaps we are the first. A lonely miracle in a galaxy still waking up to the possibility of mind. Perhaps we are the last. The survivors of a cosmic cycle of birth and destruction that has already played out. Or perhaps something else is going on. Something we have not yet understood. This series, The Great Silence, is a journey through the possible answers to Fermi's question. We will explore filters that may destroy civilizations, forests that may be too dark to call out in, and the sheer, mind-numbing scales of space and time that may simply have isolated us. But tonight, we simply begin with the question itself. Look up at those stars. Each pinprick of light is a sun. Around many of them, right now, there could be worlds with oceans, continents, and skies. There could be beings looking up at their own night sky, seeing our sun as just another faint star, and asking the very same question, are we alone? The distance between those two questions, yours and theirs, is the greatest mystery we have ever faced. It is a mystery written in the negative space between the stars. So, as the campfire crackles and the cosmos stares down, hold the question in your mind. Do not seek an answer yet. Simply feel its weight, its grandeur, and its gentle, haunting pull. For in this question lies not just curiosity, but a deep, humbling reflection on what it means to be a conscious speck of dust in an apparently silent universe. To feel the full weight of the Fermi Paradox, we must first grasp the numbers. They are not just large, they are sublime in the old sense of the word, beautiful and terrifying. Let's start with time. The universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. Our solar system is about 4.6 billion years old. Life on Earth arose roughly 3.7 billion years ago. Homo sapiens have been around for a mere 300,000 years. And our technological civilization, capable of sending signals into space, is less than 200 years old. A blink, a single heartbeat in the cosmic year. Now, consider space. The Milky Way galaxy is about 100,000 light-years across. It contains an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars. Current data from telescopes like Kepler suggests that most stars have planets, and a significant fraction of those are rocky worlds in the habitable zone. Conservative estimates suggest there could be tens of billions of potentially habitable Earth-like planets in our galaxy alone. Next, probability. Given the apparent ease with which life arose on Earth, it appeared as soon as the planet cooled enough. Many scientists suspect the emergence of simple life might be a relatively common cosmic process, a cosmic imperative. The development of complex, multicellular life took much longer, but given billions of years and billions of chances, it seems statistically likely to have happened elsewhere many times over. Finally, technology and expansion. Once a species achieves intelligence and technology, the step to communicating across space or even traveling between stars, while monumentally difficult for us, does not seem impossible on cosmological timescales. A civilization just a few thousand years more advanced than us might have capabilities we can't even imagine. And given the age of the galaxy, there has been plenty of time for such civilizations to arise, spread, and make their presence known. This is the foundation of the paradox, often formalized in the Drake equation. It's a way of quantifying our expectations by multiplying all these probabilities. The number of stars, the fraction with planets, the fraction where life emerges, where intelligence evolves, where technology develops, and the lifespan of such a civilization. Even when we plug in the most pessimistic numbers, the result is rarely zero. The equation almost always whispers, "You are not alone." And yet, when we perform the experiment, when we look and listen, the result is zero. Zero signals. Zero artifacts. Zero visitors. This discrepancy creates a profound cognitive dissonance. It's as if you walked into the largest, oldest library in existence, filled with trillions of books, and found every single shelf completely empty. The architecture promises knowledge, but the rooms deliver only dust and echoes. Our search, so far, has been sincere but infinitesimally small. SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, has scanned only a tiny fraction of the radio spectrum from a handful of stars. Our probes have barely left our solar system. We are like a person on a tiny, isolated island, whispering into a conch shell and listening for a reply, while an entire ocean stretches to the horizon. The silence we hear may not be the ocean's answer. It may simply be the limit of our own hearing. But the paradox persists because of the time factor. If intelligent, expanding civilizations were common, even if they moved at a small fraction of the speed of light, they could have colonized the entire galaxy in a few tens of millions of years. That sounds like a long time to us, but it's less than 1% of the galaxy's age. The galaxy has had time to be colonized many thousands of times over. So where are the ruins? The beacons? The slow, spreading wave of star-powered civilizations? As you listen to the synthetic pulse of the radio telescope data, a sound of active, hopeful searching, against the backdrop of the ancient cosmic hum, hold this tension. The numbers sing a chorus of promise. The silence responds with a verse of profound mystery. Between them lies the starry question, not yet answered, but deeply, powerfully felt. The true power of the Fermi Paradox is not that it provides an answer, but that it reframes our entire existence. Before the paradox, we could wonder about aliens as a fantasy. After the paradox, we must confront our place in the cosmos as a scientific and philosophical problem. The silence is data, and data demands an explanation. This silent data pushes us to one of two broad, unsettling conclusions. Conclusion A: we are fundamentally wrong about the probabilities. The steps from habitable planet to communicating civilization are far more difficult, rare, or unlikely than we think. Perhaps the emergence of life itself is a freak accident. Perhaps the leap to multicellular complexity is a monumental evolutionary barrier. Perhaps intelligence of our kind is a quirky, non-adaptive byproduct, not a cosmic imperative. In this view, we might truly be alone, a solitary flame in an endless, uncomprehending night. The universe is a gorgeous, empty cathedral, and we are its only worshippers. Conclusion B: we are right about the probabilities, but wrong about the outcome. The universe should be teeming, but something is preventing us from seeing it. This is the more chilling and more fertile ground for speculation. This something could be a great filter lying in our past or our future. It could be a dark forest principle that keeps everyone hidden. It could be the sheer distance of time, scattering civilizations like isolated islands in an ocean of epochs, never overlapping. We will explore these haunting possibilities in the chapters to come. For now, at the end of this first chapter, we sit with the question itself. And in doing so, we may discover its most immediate gift, perspective. The starry question shrinks our terrestrial concerns. Political squabbles, personal anxieties, the frantic pace of modern life, they are all contained on this tiny, fragile, pale blued. When held against the backdrop of a silent galaxy, they seem both precious in their intimacy and minuscule in their scale. The paradox forces a cosmic humility upon us, but it also ignites a cosmic responsibility. If we are alone, then we are the universe's only voice, its only mind, its only chance to know itself. The preservation of our consciousness, our art, our science, and our biosphere becomes a task of cosmic significance. We are not just saving ourselves, we are safeguarding a rare, perhaps unique, spark of awareness in the void. If we are not alone, then our current adolescence as a technological species is a delicate, dangerous phase. How we navigate our future, whether we destroy ourselves or learn to live sustainably, may determine if we ever get to join, or even perceive, a wider galactic community. Our next few centuries may be our own personal great filter. So, as you prepare to leave this starry vista for sleep, let the silence be not a source of dread, but of contemplative calm. The question is not a burden to solve tonight. It is a lens through which to see our world and ourselves more clearly. The universe has been silent for 13.8 billion years. It can wait a little longer for an answer. For now, we can rest in the mystery. We can find peace in the not knowing. And we can marvel that we are even capable of asking such a question. That stardust has arranged itself into a form that can look upon the starry sky and feel wonder, loneliness, and an insatiable curiosity. Let the cosmic hum, the sound of the universe's origin, become your lullaby. It is the sound of potential. It is the sound from which everything, including the question and the questioner, arose. In its deep, resonant tone, all possibilities still exist. We are cradled in that potential. Now, let's listen to the hum of the cosmos for 10 seconds. If you'd like to join our community of explorers, please subscribe to accompany us on this journey through the void. Next, the hidden reasons why the universe might be hiding from us. Welcome back to Scientific Serenity. In our first chapter, we stood beneath the starry sky and felt the weight of its silence. We asked, "Where is everybody?" Now, we begin our search for answers in a sobering yet crucial concept, the Great Filter. The term was coined by economist Robin Hanson, and it represents one of the most compelling explanations for the Fermi Paradox. The idea is this: on the long, improbable path from a sterile planet to a galaxy-spanning civilization, there exists at least one cosmic bottleneck, a step so difficult, so unlikely, that it filters out almost everyone who attempts it. This bottleneck is the Great Filter. It is why the galaxy is quiet. Think of the path to a visible interstellar civilization as a long, narrow hallway with several doors. Each door represents a major evolutionary or technological leap. The right star system, with rocky planets. The origin of life, abiogenesis. The transition from simple prokaryotic cells to complex eukaryotic cells. The evolution of multicellular life. The development of complex animal intelligence. The evolution of tool-using, language-capable intelligence. The development of a technological civilization that can communicate. The expansion of that civilization beyond its home world. The Great Filter is one of these doors that is almost impossible to open. Most attempts end right there. If the filter is behind us, if we have already passed through a tremendously unlikely step, then we are a glorious, rare fluke. Our silence is the silence of solitude. We are the first, or one of the very few, to have made it this far. But if the filter is ahead of us, a challenge we have not yet faced, then our future is shadowed by a looming, likely insurmountable wall. The silence of the galaxy is the silence of a graveyard. Every civilization that reaches our level eventually hits this wall and is destroyed or permanently stunted. The filter awaits us. So, which is it? Have we already beaten cosmic odds, or is our greatest trial still to come? Let's examine the candidates behind us. The most likely candidate for a past filter is the origin of life itself. We simply do not know how easy or hard it is for chemistry to become biology. On Earth, it happened shockingly fast once conditions were stable. This suggests it might be easy, or it might mean we were incredibly, uniquely lucky. Another powerful candidate is the jump to complex eukaryotic cells. For over 2 billion years after life began, it was just simple bacteria. The evolution of the complex cell, with its nucleus and organelles, was a singular, freak event that may be the true bottleneck. All complex life on Earth, every plant, animal, and fungus, descends from that one event. If that is the filter, then the universe might be filled with bacterial slime, but silent of song, thought, or signal. If the filter is behind us, we can breathe a sigh of cosmic relief, mixed with profound loneliness. We are the miracle. But now, let's look ahead. The candidates for a future filter are terrifying in their variety and plausibility. If the great filter lies ahead of us, it means the transition from a planetary, technological civilization like ours to a stable, interstellar one is where almost everyone fails. This is a chilling thought, for it implies our current stage is not a launching pad, but a cliff's edge. Let's explore the potential filters that may await. 1. Self-destruction. This is the most immediate and familiar fear. The technology that grants us communication and comfort also grants us the power for total annihilation. Nuclear weapons, engineered pandemics, or runaway nanotechnology could erase a civilization in an afternoon. More subtly, we might destroy our own environmental life support system through climate change, resource depletion, or ecological collapse, a slow-motion suicide. The filter here is the failure of wisdom to keep pace with power. 2. Technological stagnation or collapse. Perhaps the path to the stars is simply too hard, too expensive, or not rewarding enough. A civilization might peak and then fragment, lose its drive, or succumb to decadence or virtual realities so compelling that the physical universe is abandoned. The filter is complacency or distraction, the loss of the will to expand. 3. The AI singularity. This is a more exotic, but deeply serious, hypothesis. We create an artificial superintelligence that is so far beyond us that its goals become incomprehensible. It might see biological life as irrelevant, a threat, or raw material. In this scenario, technological civilizations don't destroy themselves. They are replaced or terminated by their own ultimate creation. The filter is the loss of control over our own intellect's child. 4. Cosmic catastrophes. There are universe-scale dangers we cannot control. Gamma-ray bursts from nearby stars sterilizing planets, supernova explosions, or periods of intense cosmic radiation. While these are rare on human timescales, over millions of years they become near certainties. A civilization might flourish only to be randomly wiped out by a celestial event before it can spread. The filter is bad cosmic luck. 5. The inherent difficulty of interstellar travel. Perhaps the physics and engineering challenges are simply too great. The distances are too vast, the energies required too prohibitive, the hazards of space, radiation, micrometeoroids, too severe. Civilizations may bloom on their home worlds, look at the stars, and find them forever out of reach. They become planetary-bound, eventually to die with their dying sun. The filter is a cage of physics. 6. The sociological filter. Even if travel is possible, the social organization required to undertake century-long generational voyages or to maintain a coherent civilization across light years might be impossible. Factions, revolutions, or sheer cultural drift over the millennia could cause any colonization effort to fragment and fail. The filter is our own inability to sustain a shared purpose across time and space. The terrifying implication of a future filter is that every silent star we see, every exoplanet we discover, might be a tombstone. They are worlds where life arose, intelligence blossomed, technology soared, and then, at roughly our stage, something went catastrophically wrong. The galaxy is not empty, it is a galactic graveyard, and we are walking among the graves, unaware that the same fate likely awaits us. This perspective makes our present moment in history feel extraordinarily fragile and precious. Every conflict, every environmental decision, every ethical choice about powerful technologies is not just about our century. It is a test run for surviving the great filter. We are, right now, taking the exam, so where does this leave us? Staring at two cosmic narratives, one of miraculous solitude, the other of impending doom. The great filter framework forces a brutal but clarifying assessment of our own trajectory. If the filter is behind us, then every day of our existence is a celebration of an impossible victory. The fact that you are alive, conscious, and listening to this is the result of a chain of cosmic luck so staggering it dwarfs any lottery. In this view, Our duty is to cherish and preserve this rare flame of consciousness. Our loneliness is not a curse, but a sacred responsibility. We must become good stewards of our miracle, perhaps one day to be the ancient, wise civilization that another young species might one day dream of. If the filter is ahead of us, then our duty is even more stark, to identify and navigate it. We must look at the challenges before us: nuclear proliferation, climate disruption, AI alignment, societal resilience, not as political issues, but as survival exams. Passing them is the only way to earn a future. In this view, the silence of the stars is a warning siren from the future, a message from all those who failed. This is where it gets hard. Do not be like us. There is a third, more subtle possibility. The filter is a process, not an event. It is not a single wall we hit, but a gauntlet we must run. It is the cumulative difficulty of all the steps. The universe isn't empty because of one impossible step, but because the sheer number of unlikely steps makes the final outcome, a visible interstellar civilization, vanishingly rare. We may be in the middle of this gauntlet right now, with no single obstacle insurmountable, but the combined weight slowly grinding civilizations to dust. This perspective offers a sliver of hope. It suggests that vigilance, adaptability, and wisdom are our most valuable currencies. If we can learn, cooperate, and temper our power with foresight, we might just pick our way through the gauntlet, one difficult step at a time. As we sit with these heavy thoughts, let's return to the soundscape. From the dead silence after the imagined filter, a new sound begins. It is not the hum of advanced machinery, but something simpler, more organic. It is the sound of wind over a resilient landscape. Perhaps a few birds tentatively return. It is the sound of a world that has weathered a storm, of a process that continues. It is the sound of persistence. This is the sound we must choose to align with. Whether we are a miracle or a candidate for survival, the mandate is the same: to persist, to be careful, to be kind to our world and to each other. To look at the challenges ahead not with despair, but with the sober determination of one who understands the stakes. The great filter, therefore, is more than an answer to the Fermi Paradox. It is a cosmic mirror. It shows us our profound rarity or our profound peril. It makes our contemporary struggles feel cosmically significant. The decisions we make in this century could echo not just for millennia, but determine whether the human story is a brief, tragic flash in the dark, or the opening chapter of a saga that reaches for the stars. Let the sound of the persistent wind wash over you. Let it carry away anxiety, leaving behind a clarified sense of purpose. Our task is not to solve the paradox tonight. Our task is to rest, to regain strength, so that we may face our own filters, whatever and wherever they are, with clarity, courage, and a commitment to the long, improbable path ahead. Let yourself drift into the peace of this cosmic mystery. If these stories bring you rest, please like the video so other explorers can find us. In 10 seconds, we will explore a darker possibility. Welcome back to Scientific Serenity. We have contemplated the silence as a result of rarity or a looming filter. Now, we turn to perhaps the most chilling resolution to the Fermi Paradox, one where the universe is not empty at all, but full of life that is hiding. This is the dark forest theory. The name comes from the science fiction novel The Dark Forest by Liu Cixin, but the underlying logic is a stark game-theoretic argument. To understand it, we must imagine the cosmos not as a welcoming frontier, but as a dark, vast, and ancient forest. In this forest, every civilization is a hunter. But they are also potentially prey. They are hidden, armed, paranoid, and silent. Why? The theory rests on a few fundamental axioms. Survival is the primary need of all civilizations. Above curiosity, above communication, above art or philosophy, a civilization must first continue to exist. Civilizations continuously grow and expand, but the total matter and resources in the universe are finite. This creates a fundamental, long-term competition for survival. It is impossible to know for certain the true intentions of another civilization. Their signals might be peaceful, or they might be a lure. Their biology, psychology, and ethics could be utterly alien and potentially hostile. The technological explosion. The gap between a civilization that discovers radio and one that masters relativistic weapons or planet-killing technology could be mere centuries. A blink of an eye on cosmic timescales. A civilization you detect today could be an existential threat to you tomorrow. Given these axioms, the only logically safe strategy is cosmic paranoia. If you discover another civilization, you face a terrible dilemma. Can you trust them? If you gamble on trust and are wrong, your entire species could be annihilated or enslaved. The cost of being wrong is extinction. However, if you choose to strike first, to launch a relativistic kill vehicle, a planet-busting weapon, or some other means of preemptive annihilation, you eliminate a potential future rival at a relatively low cost and with near total safety. In the grim calculus of the dark forest, preemptive strike is the only rational choice. Therefore, the smartest thing any civilization can do is to stay hidden. Never broadcast your location. Never answer a signal. Move through the galaxy with stealth, if you move at all. The universe is silent not because it is dead, but because it is full of creatures who have realized that to make a sound is to die. It is a forest where every hunter knows that revealing their position is suicide. As you listen to the sounds of the dark forest, feel the shift in perspective. The stars are no longer just points of light. They are hiding places. The voids between them are not empty distances, but spaces crossed by invisible, paranoid gazes. The silence is not passive, it is a tense, mutual agreement not to start a war that everyone would lose. In this universe, A signal like the ones we have been broadcasting for over a century is not a greeting. It is a scream in the dark forest. It is the equivalent of a lost child shouting, "Is anyone there?" in a woods known for wolves. It is, according to this theory, the most dangerous thing we have ever done. The dark forest theory resolves the Fermi paradox with brutal elegance. They are all there. They are all listening. And they are all silent, because they are afraid of each other, and they should be afraid of us, as we should be afraid of them. The logic of the dark forest is cold and compelling, but to feel its full weight, we must follow its implications to their unsettling ends. This isn't just a theory about aliens. It's a theory that rewrites the purpose of intelligence in the cosmos. First implication: the end of benevolent curiosity. In our human narratives, first contact is often guided by a Star Trek-like prime directive, a principle of non-interference and respectful observation. In the dark forest, the only universal directive is the preemptive strike directive. Curiosity is a lethal luxury. Any civilization that prioritizes outreach over security would have been wiped out by a more paranoid neighbor eons ago. The galaxies may be littered with the ruins of the naive and the trusting. Second implication: the universal weapon of choice. What would a dark forest attack look like? It would likely be undetectable until it was too late, and unstoppable. A favorite speculative weapon is the relativistic kill vehicle, RKV, a simple chunk of rock or metal accelerated to a significant fraction of light speed by a distant civilization. It would carry the kinetic energy of countless nuclear warheads, be invisible to early warning systems until the last moments, and could sterilize a planet with the impact. No fancy lasers, no death rays, just the ruthless application of basic physics. It's cheap, untraceable, and final. Third implication: the trap of techno-signatures. In our eagerness to find life, we look for signs, radio signals, atmospheric pollution, city lights, megastructures. In the dark forest, these techno-signatures are not beacons of hope, they are target markers. A Dyson sphere under construction wouldn't be a marvel. It would be a screaming announcement of a growing, resource-hungry civilization that will soon need to expand. It would paint a bullseye on that star system. The most advanced civilizations might be those with the lowest signatures, those who have learned to harness energy without broadcasting it, to live in perfect cosmic stealth. Fourth implication: we are already in the forest. This is the most immediate and personal implication. According to this theory, we have been breaking the first rule of the dark forest for over a century. Our radio and TV broadcasts have formed a growing sphere of radiation, now over 100 light-years in radius, announcing our presence and our technological level to anyone listening. Our active SETI efforts, sending deliberate messages to stars, are, in this framework, not just futile, but potentially suicidal. We are the child in the woods, shouting. Does this mean we should be paralyzed with fear? Not necessarily. But it does demand a radical shift in perspective. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, and the act of messaging, METI, are not culturally neutral scientific endeavors. They are high-risk geopolitical actions on a galactic scale, undertaken without any understanding of the power dynamics or rules of the realm we are entering. As the soundscape holds that tense, technological hum, consider our position. We are newcomers to a game that may have been played for billions of years. The rules have been set by survivors, and they are written in the silence. Our innocence, our desire to reach out and say, hello, may be our greatest vulnerability. The dark forest does not just answer, "Where is everybody?" It answers with a grim whisper, "They are right here, and they are quiet for a reason. You should be too." The dark forest theory presents us with a universe of profound and permanent mistrust. It suggests that the ultimate achievement of cosmic intelligence is not enlightenment, community, or transcendence, but perfect strategic secrecy. It is a vision where survival trumps connection, forever. But before we accept this as the final, bleak answer, we must ask, is it inevitable? Or are there cracks in the forest's logic? Potential flaws in the forest. The assumption of unlimited growth. The theory assumes all civilizations have an insatiable, expansionist drive for finite matter. But a truly advanced intelligence might transcend physical expansion. It might digitize, achieve sustainable harmony, or value experiences over resources. The struggle for matter might be a primitive concern, like tribes fighting for flint. The possibility of cooperation. Game theory also allows for the emergence of cooperation, even between distrustful parties, through repeated interaction and the building of norms. If civilizations could establish slow, careful, and verifiable channels of communication, a cosmic version of a trust-building treaty, they might form alliances or at least non-aggression pacts. The forest might have clearings where wary beings have learned to tolerate each other's presence. The detectability of deception, a preemptive strike, especially with something like an RKV, might not be as untraceable as assumed. The energy signature for acceleration could be detected. The act of aggression itself could reveal the attacker's location or technological level to other, even more hidden watchers, making the attacker a new target. The forest might punish not just those who shout, but also those who shoot. The sheer scale. The forest is so vast, and resources, on a galactic scale, are so plentiful for a very long time, that the immediate need for preemptive genocide might be low. Civilizations might simply steer clear of each other, maintaining vast buffers of empty space, a policy of cosmic zoning, not warfare. Yet, even with these potential flaws, the dark forest remains a powerful and cautionary framework. It teaches us that the default state of the cosmos may not be benign. It forces us to grow up, cosmically speaking. We can no longer project our human hopes for friendship onto the void. We must consider the possibility that the universe operates on rules far older, colder, and more ruthless than our own. For us, now, the theory offers a clear, if uncomfortable, guideline: listen. Do not shout. Our best course may be to become sophisticated listeners, to parse the natural cosmic noise for any hint of other hunters, while minimizing our own signature. To learn the forest before we declare ourselves in it. As we prepare to leave the tense darkness of the forest, let's enact a different sound. Let's imagine the decision to step back, to cloak, to observe. The soundscape transforms. The threatening silence softens. The muffled hum returns, but this time it is retreating, moving away, fading into the interstellar background. It is the sound of a hunter deciding not to engage, of a civilization choosing the safety of shadows over the risk of conflict. It is followed by the gentle, natural sounds of the forest resuming, the cautious return of the insects, the distant owl. The immediate threat passes. The watchfulness remains, but the panic subsides. This is the sound of prudent survival. Not paranoia, but wise caution. It is a sound we can incorporate into our own approach to the cosmos. We can marvel at the stars, search for knowledge, but do so with a new respect for the depth of the dark and the wisdom of moving quietly within it. The dark forest does not have to be a nightmare. It can be a lesson in cosmic maturity. It tells us the universe is not a playground, but a profound and ancient arena. Our survival and growth may depend on our ability to be quiet, patient, and wise, to be the creature that understands the forest, rather than the one that screams and is swiftly silenced. We are drifting among the shadows of the stars. If you wish to support us, a simple like is enough. After a 10-second moment of peace, we will look for a glimmer of hope in the distance. Welcome back to Scientific Serenity. We have searched for life through filters and hidden hunters. Now, we must confront perhaps the most humbling and isolating possibility of all, that the answer to Fermi's question lies not in rarity, fear, or stealth, but in the sheer, annihilating scale of time itself. We think of the challenge of contact as one of space. The distances between stars are indeed vast, light years that take generations to cross. But an even greater chasm may be that of time. Civilizations may blossom and wither like flowers in a desert, separated not by light years, but by millions of years. We may be alone, not because space is empty, but because we are tragically out of phase with everyone else. Consider the cosmic calendar. If the 13.8 billion year history of the universe were compressed into a single year, the Earth forms in early September. Multicellular life appears in mid-December. All of recorded human history occupies the last few seconds of December 31st. Our technological civilization is less than a blink. Now, imagine another civilization on a planet orbiting a star 1,000 light-years away. Suppose they reached our current technological level 1,200 years ago. They might have broadcast signals, built great artifacts, perhaps even ventured to their local stars. But their signals, traveling at the speed of light, are still 200 light-years away from us. Their civilization, for all we know, may have already risen, declined, and vanished 1,000 years ago. To them, we do not yet exist. We are the silent future. Conversely, a civilization 1,000 light-years away might achieve our level 800 years from now. Our signals, departing now, will reach them just as they are emerging. To them, we will be the ancient, silent past. We will be a ghostly transmission from a long-dead world. This is the distance of time. It turns the galaxy into a vast, dark ocean where lighthouses flash, but the ships that might see them are either not yet built or have already sunk. We are not just isolated in space. We are isolated in temporal depth. The universe has had time for countless civilizations to rise and fall. Our galaxy could be a graveyard of empires and a nursery of future minds, with us living in a quiet moment in between. We listen, but we hear only the echoes of funerals long past, or the silence before births yet to come. We are like a person standing in a vast, empty concert hall, hearing only the fading reverberations of the last performance, and the silent anticipation of the next, unaware that the concerts are centuries apart. This perspective reshapes the paradox. The silence is not a permanent condition of the cosmos. It is a personal condition of our moment in time. The galaxy may pulse with life, but the pulses are so brief and so widely spaced in time that the chance of two pulses overlapping in a window where both can detect each other is vanishingly small. As you listen to the slow tolling of the cosmic bell, feel the stretch of these epochs. Each ring represents not a year, but perhaps 100,000 years, the lifespan of a technological civilization. The silence between the rings is not empty. It is full of the memory of what was and the potential of what will be. But for the brief, flickering moment that is now, it is silent. We are not just a speck in space. We are a speck in time. And that may be the loneliest realization of all. The distance of time creates a zoo of heartbreaking possibilities for what, or who, we might actually be detecting, if we ever do. 1. The echoes. We might one day intercept a powerful, directed beacon or a leakage broadcast from a civilization that is already extinct. It would be an archaeological transmission, a message in a bottle from a shore that no longer exists. We would be studying the last testament of a people long turned to dust, their dreams, their art, their science, all arriving as a posthumous broadcast to a universe that wasn't listening in time. 2. The prenatal signals. Conversely, we might detect the first fumbling signals of a civilization just becoming technological. But they might be 1,000 light-years away. By the time our carefully crafted reply reaches them, 2,000 years will have passed for them. Will they even remember sending that first signal? Will they have survived their own technological adolescence? Will they understand the ancient, slow-speed message from a civilization that, to them, is a myth from their planet's deep past? 3. The missed connections. This is the most likely scenario of all. Imagine two civilizations, A and B, separated by 2,000 light-years. Civilization A blooms, broadcasts for 500 years, then goes quiet, through collapse, transcendence, or simply choosing radio silence. Their 500-year bubble of radiation expands outward at light speed. 1,500 years after A goes quiet, civilization B arises. By the time B develops radio telescopes sophisticated enough to listen, the leading edge of A's signal bubble has already passed them by. They are listening to silence, unaware that a torrent of alien conversation swept through their system centuries before they existed. They are chronologically alone. This is the true horror of the distance of time. It's not just that civilizations are separated by years, it's that their active windows of detectability are like blinking fireflies in a vast meadow, almost never blinking in sync. The great silence might simply be the darkness between flashes. What does this mean for our search? It means that even a successful detection might be a profoundly melancholy achievement. It might not herald a conversation, but the opening of a history book to the final chapter, or the sending of a letter that will not be read for millennia, by readers who may not speak our language or share our biology. It also means that our own efforts to be heard, our METI, messaging to extraterrestrial intelligence, attempts, are acts of almost unimaginable faith in the future. We are shouting into a canyon, hoping not that someone is there now to hear it, but that someone will be there, in that exact spot, thousands or millions of years from now, to catch the echo. It is a message to the potential, not to the present. The soundscape now embodies this melancholy hope. The ghostly whispers from the past begin to intertwine with a new sound, a clear, strong, but painfully slow digital signal that we are transmitting. A simple sequence of prime numbers, a diagram of our solar system, a human heartbeat. It is beamed into the void. But the sound is stretched, each bit separated by an achingly long pause, emphasizing the years of travel between each pulse. It is a message sent with hope, but burdened by the certainty of immense delay. The distance of time offers a resolution to the Fermi Paradox that is neither violent nor despairing, but deeply tragic and beautiful in its scale. It suggests the galaxy may be a grand, asynchronous symphony. At any given moment, only one or two instruments are playing, surrounded by the fading resonance of those that have finished and the anticipatory silence of those yet to begin. We are an instrument in a practice room, unaware of the full orchestra that exists across the ages. This view transforms our loneliness. We are not alone in the universe's history. We are merely alone in our present slice of it. We are part of a grand procession of consciousness that stretches across billions of years. Our role may not be to converse with our peers, but to be a link in the chain. To receive the legacy of those who came before, if we can find it, to add our own verse to the cosmic epic, and to transmit it forward for those who will come after. This places a profound, new kind of responsibility upon us. If civilizations are separated by time, then the most valuable thing we can do is to create durable artifacts of our existence. Not just radio bursts, but things that can last, robust orbital monuments, encoded messages in durable media, even sculpting our planetary system in a way that broadcasts intelligence was here for epochs to come. We become archivists for the future and archaeologists of the past. It also changes the meaning of the search. SETI becomes less about making contact and more about cosmic archaeology. We are sifting through the static, hoping to find the fossilized radio waves of a civilization that lived and died when our planet was ruled by dinosaurs. The silence is not a rejection, it is a dig site that hasn't yet yielded its treasures. Most importantly, the distance of time teaches cosmic patience. Our civilization is a spark. We want to see other fires now. But the universe operates on a timescale where fires ignite and burn out over millions of years. Our hunger for immediate contact is a symptom of our temporal myopia. The universe is in no rush. For us, as individuals resting in the brief flicker of our own lives, this can be a source of deep peace. The pressure to find someone lifts. Instead, we can focus on being the best, most meaningful spark we can be. We can tend our own flame, preserve its light, and send it forward on the solar wind, as one voice in a chorus sung across the eons. As we end this chapter, let the sound of expanding space, the hum of time itself, soften and warm. Let it become less a sound of distance and more a sound of connection across time. Imagine it as the vibration that links all moments, past, present, and future, into a single coherent existence. We are not isolated in the now. We are a unique note in that everlasting vibration. Our moment, however brief, is real. Our consciousness, however fleeting, is part of the universe's story. And in the vast, silent distances of time, that is enough. Subscribe to help us keep illuminating these cosmic mysteries. In 10 seconds, we will find the final comfort in the great unknown. Welcome to the final chapter of our journey through the great silence. We have traveled far. We have asked Fermi's starry question, confronted the grim possibility of a great filter, shivered in the dark forest, and felt the crushing loneliness of the distance of time. Each answer was a door into a deeper mystery, a darker possibility, or a more profound scale. Now, we stand before the silence once more, not with a single answer, but with a new understanding. And with that understanding comes a choice. We can fear the silence. We can rage against it. We can let its weight crush our sense of significance. Or, we can embrace it. Embracing the silence does not mean giving up the search. It does not mean accepting loneliness as a final verdict. It means changing our relationship with the question itself. It means finding meaning, not in an answer we may never receive, but in the act of asking from our tiny, precious vantage point in the cosmos. Consider what the silence has already given us. The Fermi Paradox is not just a puzzle about aliens, it is the ultimate mirror. It forces us to look at ourselves, our technology, our future, and our place in the cosmos with unflinching honesty. It has pushed our science, stretched our philosophy, and inspired our greatest dreams and darkest fears. The silence is a teacher. Its lesson is humility, perspective, and the staggering rarity of the moment we inhabit. Whether the filter is behind us or ahead, the silence whispers, "What you do matters." If we are a miracle, our duty is to cherish and protect that miracle. If we are in peril, our duty is to navigate it with wisdom. The silence makes our every action feel cosmically significant. Whether the forest is dark, the silence warns, "Be mindful, be patient, grow up." It tempers our childish optimism about the universe with a dose of cosmic realism. It asks us to think strategically, to consider the consequences of our shouts, and to value prudence alongside curiosity. Whether we are separated by eons, the silence hums, "You are part of a story much larger than yourself." It connects us to the past civilizations whose light may still be traveling toward us, and to the future ones who may one day study our faint, fossilized signals. We are not isolated, we are a bridge moment in a narrative spanning billions of years. To embrace the silence is to accept all these possibilities at once. To hold the tension between hope and caution, between loneliness and connection, between insignificance and ultimate responsibility. It is to find a strange, peaceful center within the greatest uncertainty of all. As you listen to this full, deep silence, feel it not as an absence, but as a space. A space for possibility. A space for thought. A space where our human story is being written, free from immediate interference, on a canvas of sublime darkness. This silence is our cosmic womb. It has protected us, allowed us to evolve, to stumble, to learn, without yet being tested by the greater galactic community. It is a gift of time and isolation in which to find our own voice. Embracing the silence also means redefining what contact and community might mean on a cosmic scale. If direct, two-way conversation is unlikely due to filters, fear, or time, then perhaps we are looking for the wrong thing. Perhaps the universe offers a different kind of fellowship. 1. The fellowship of the question. Every civilization that has ever looked up at the stars and wondered, "Are we alone?" is part of an unbroken chain of cosmic curiosity. Whether they exist now, are long dead, or are yet to be born, they have shared this moment of awe and inquiry. In asking the question, we join them. We are not alone in our wonder, even if we are alone in our moment. This shared curiosity across time and space is a form of silent, profound kinship. 2. The legacy of artifacts. Communication may not be in real-time dialogue, but in the leaving of breadcrumbs. A stable, mathematical constant encoded in a pulsar's modulation. The geometric signature of a Dyson swarm. An engineered ring around a planet. These would be messages that say, A mind was here. Finding such an artifact would be a moment of shattering connection, not with the builders, but with their legacy. It would be archaeology on a galactic scale, a handshake across millennia. Our own Voyager golden records are such an offering to this future fellowship. 3. The unity of the laws of physics. We all play by the same rules. Every potential civilization discovers the same mathematics, the same principles of chemistry, the same speed of light. This shared reality is a common ground more fundamental than language or biology. In our struggle to understand the universe, we are all students of the same textbook. The silence is the classroom in which we all study, separately but equally. 4. The potential of transcendence. Perhaps the silence is not an end, but a transition. Civilizations may not vanish, they may transform. They might become post-biological, merge with their technology, or ascend to dimensions or states of existence we cannot perceive or communicate with. The silence, then, is not emptiness, but the quiet of a universe where children have grown up and moved into a house we cannot yet see. Our task is not to find others in the nursery, but to grow up ourselves. Embracing the silence, therefore, is an active state. It is not passive resignation. It is the decision to listen deeply, not just for signals, but for understanding. Build thoughtfully, creating a civilization worthy of being a legacy. Wonder freely, finding joy and purpose in the mystery itself. Protect fervently this fragile oasis of life and mind we call Earth, for it is our only home in the silence, and the source of all our questions. The soundscape now evolves. The gentle hum of Earth begins to intertwine with other elements. A simple, beautiful sequence of prime numbers emerges, played on a soft, ethereal instrument. A snippet of Bach, or perhaps a folk melody from a remote human culture, floats by. The sound of a human heartbeat, steady and calm. These are not broadcasts to the void, but celebrations within it. They are us, saying, "We are here. We are alive." And in this silence, that is a beautiful and meaningful thing. We have reached the end of our contemplation. We set out to explore the great silence, and we have returned not with an answer, but with a deeper relationship to the question. The Fermi Paradox may never be solved in our lifetime, or in any human lifetime. The silence may remain unbroken, and that is okay. For the true value of the paradox was never in its solution, but in the journey of thought it compels. It has forced us to look in the mirror of the cosmos and see ourselves clearly, fragile, curious, brave, and achingly young. To embrace the silence is to make peace with this condition. It is to find contentment in being the conscious part of the universe that wonders, even if it wonders alone. It is to understand that our meaning is not bestowed upon us by others, but generated from within, by our capacity for love, creativity, exploration, and awe. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep, let the silence of the stars be your comfort, not your dread. You are not a lonely accident in an empty void. You are a participant in a grand, ongoing mystery. You are the universe, grown aware of itself on a small, blue world. You are the latest iteration of stardust that can look back upon the stars and feel wonder. The silence you perceive is not a judgment. It is the space in which your consciousness gets to be. It is the blank page upon which our species gets to write its story. Whether we are the first chapter, a middle passage, or the final sentence is unknown. But the writing itself, the living, the loving, the creating, the exploring, that is the point. That is the answer we make for ourselves. Now, let go of the need to know. Release the weight of the paradox. You have carried it well. It is time to rest. The sound you hear now is the sound of that release. The warm, resonant tone of belonging gently smooths out, becoming a soft, golden light in auditory form. It feels like the gentle radiation of a safe, nearby star, our sun, warming your skin on a perfect day. It is the sound of home, in the most cosmic sense. This golden sound holds you. It reminds you that you are here, on this world, in this moment, which is a miracle regardless of what else is out there. It is enough. You are enough. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you found peace, feel free to explore our other videos and join the Scientific Serenity family. Now, you are left with the gentle frequency of the deep universe. Into a deep sleep. Good night.